welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am going to be reviewing these tiny little amazing pens. I discovered these pens from an artist here on YouTube, or at least the idea of a water erasable marker. So I did my own little Google search and this is what I found. I did not know these markers were so tiny when I ordered them, so imagine my surprise when I opened the box and they were like, what's this, 3 inches? But yeah, these are the LEONIS Water Erasable Marking Pens. So this is my second time using these markers. The first day I received the markers in the mail, I couldn't wait to use them, so I didn't record my first impression of the markers, but I really loved them the first time and I still love them now. But yeah, I was way too excited to use these markers, so when I was filming the sketching portion, my whole head was on top of my drawing, so you guys, the only thing you could see is my big ass head in the frame. So I'm so sorry I couldn't get much of the sketching portion in the video. So this is the magic. Just grab a water pen and start erasing. It literally works better than a eraser. And I had to use some paper towels because I was using a little bit too much water to get rid of the ink there. But yeah, this is amazing. And then I got my big head in the frame again, so. It's been a while since I last sat down and filmed. So I'm just used to like having my head on top of my drawing when I'm drawing, but now that I'm filming for you guys, I kind of have to be a bit more aware that I can't put my big old head in the frame. So yeah, my head was covering the last portion of me erasing the blue pen. But I'll show you guys a bit more of how easy, but I guess you guys can pretty much see how easy it was for the water to just erase those blue lines. But you see under that little tape, once I pull the tape up, I'm gonna show you guys just another example of how quick you can erase these markers. So I was actually going to use markers right after using water to erase those blue lines, but I decided to just grab my Sennelier watercolor palette and just do the base colors and then later on go in with my markers and see how that looks. But this isn't my first time using this coloring method where I'd go with watercolor and then markers later on. But this was actually so fun. The watercolor was so nice to use. And then going in with the markers and even some color pencils later on. So yeah, it's just a huge mixed media piece. But you know, it's on mixed media paper, so I'm using the paper for its intended purpose. So coloring the piece, I really wanted to shade her with a lot of blues, just so we can get some of that background color into her skin. But I think I made the watercolor a little bit too muddy, so it doesn't really reflect well on her skin. It looked better before I added this darker brown, but I didn't know how else to get more depth without it looking too dull. So here I'm just moving on to her hair. I wanted her hair to be a light gray color with a bit of blue on her bangs, but the more I color, the darker the hair turned out. So I just didn't know where to stop. So instead of having gray, blue ombre hair, we have black hair. Oops. Usually when I sit down to draw, I have a rough idea of what I want the final piece to look like. It's not a strict guideline I give myself, it's just like a rough idea of what I want the piece to look like. Like when I was sitting down here, I was like, oh, I want to draw a girl, a portrait of a girl with white hair with ombre bangs, and her skin should be a little bit darker to contrast with her hair. But the piece turned out a little bit different and it's fine. I usually just try to enjoy the process, and I'm also not a huge planner. I know some people would create the sketches and then go through different color schemes and then stick to that. But for me, I just like going with the flow and seeing how things turn out. Sometimes it works out. Like I think this piece worked out really well, and sometimes I wish I plan a bit more. The only thing I can say I plan out are my digital artworks. with digital art, it's so easy for you to put down a color and then erase it, or just Control Z and the color is gone, and you can try something different. So it's easier for me to get the exact vision of what I'm looking for, because it's a bit more forgiving compared to traditional art. Like once that color pencil, that marker, that watercolor is down, it's kind of hard for you to change that without compromising the paper or the drawing too much, or just starting all over. And starting all over is not always all that fun. So yeah, that's why with traditional art, it's just better if I have some idea of what I want, but kind of go with the flow and pray that my intuition is right and the piece doesn't like look atrocious. But this piece didn't turn out too bad. So yeah, I like it and I hope you guys like it too. But I definitely want to give that ombre hair another go. So we'll see. If it doesn't work traditionally, I will try it digitally. So here I'm just adding in those final details with my alcohol markers, and also going in with some color pencils to add in those extra little details, just so it's perfect. The alcohol markers definitely like brightened up the whole piece, and it just gave it so much depth. And it definitely contributed to making the hair super dark. I guess it's not like a really black hair. It's like a dark blue hair color. Kinda. What do you guys think? What does this look like? It's just black, right? It just doesn't look black. It's just a weird color. So for the little white details, I'm adding into her eyes and fixing up my mistakes. I am just using a paintbrush and a white paint, I guess. Previously, I used to use the white Jelly Roll pen or even a Posca paint pen to do the little white details in the eyes and around the character. But I got so sick and tired of my pens just like drying out so fast and replacing them so often that I just found some paint and a little skinny paintbrush, and that works so perfectly. Like, I'm so happy I started doing this. And here is that second demo of me using some water to erase those water erasable marks, thanks to the LEONIS pens. And I'm so surprised on just how easy it is for you to erase these marks. Like, compare this to pencils. Pencils are erasable, but you kind of need a little bit more elbow grease when you're trying to like get rid of all the pencil marks. But with this, it's so easy, so effortless. The only thing is you will have water on your paper and you have to use like watercolor paper or, you know, water resistant paper. But besides that, I absolutely love these markers. And also the size. I just wish the markers were a little bit bigger. That's what she said, but But yeah, I really enjoy using these pens. I will definitely continue using them in the future. I will leave a link in the description to where you guys can find these pens. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys, thanks for watching.